Good evening, everybody. I'm looking forward to this practice with you all tonight. Trying to remember. What did we talk about last night? Don't quite remember. Oh, sore backs. Yeah, my back still is whacked. But hopefully we'll have a good, smooth practice today. And that kind of highlights what I say. I'm a firm believer that, this is your yoga, your way. That's one of the key tenets of trauma recovery yoga. But also the fact that I believe everybody in my classes should finish the session feeling like, hey, I just did a damn yoga class. I was going to say something a little harsher, but yeah, you guys get it. Or at least I hope you do. That's my goal. And I always say that I teach to the lowest common denominator in the room. And 99 times out of 100, that's max. And by golly, if I can do it, you probably can too. So, now we're into this kind of weird limbo time where, hey, we're still on lockdown orders, but we got everybody screaming, not everybody, but there's a lot of people hollering that, hey, it's time to get out. But do we get out? Do we stay under lockdown? Do we stay sheltering in place? For me, I'm just good. I'm going to keep being present. And that present thing is one of the big things that we're looking for with yoga. Is it's not about doing some weird plow pose or doing a handstand or planking across the top of some weird thing. All of that's fun, I guess. Not for me. All of it be as painful for me. But where my mind goes is the core of yoga is looking for presence. That big buzzword we hear in our schools now, that they've got mindfulness classes in elementary schools. They've got mindfulness programs, and that it seems like the mental health industry is grabbing onto mindfulness with a vengeance. What does that really mean? Well, I'm not college educated, but for me that means being present and involved and mindful of exactly what you're doing right here, right now. And that's what we work on in our practices. That's exactly what I hope that you're finding a little bit of during these practices. And like I always say, that if you're one of my friends, if you're somebody that's looking for a little bit of peace, if you're somebody that just happened upon this, because that's how I found trauma recovery yoga, was, a dark night, depressed, lonely, looking for something, flipping through Facebook, and popped up on a community page. And for some reason, something inside of me told me to reach out, and I did. That was over 3 years ago. I've never, ever done yoga before in my life. Well, okay. I'd stood on the balance board on my son's Wii Fit, and tried to be, look at this, but that's not really yoga. But I walked in there. I felt awkward. I made sure I was close to the door. Was wondering what I'm doing in there. We started practicing. I felt more awkward. I fell over a time or two. Couldn't, felt like I was going to rip myself apart, stretching out, and sweated a lot. And then all of it did a lot more than I thought I could do. And then they went into this place or this pose or whatever, Shavasana, which I've come to find out now is guided meditation. And wow, for just a few minutes, that damn monkey that runs around in my head screaming at me all the time. And I think that most of us have that, either a monkey, a squirrel, some crazy woman named Sally, or some insane person named Rod running around up there screaming and hollering at us, telling us that we're a fool, that we're not worthy, and all of this stuff. Well, for a few minutes there, that monkey in my head took a break. And I was able to just feel and experience that moment right then and there. And I knew, wow, this is something that I need in my life. And slowly but surely, every Wednesday, it became the one reason that I would leave the house purely for me, not feeling obligation to anything else. And as it grew, I began to see that all of this is really about finding that inner peace, that inner calm. And we do that by self-regulation and by presence. And that's what all of the practice is all about. So, again, your practice, your way. You choose to just sit here on the mat today and breathe. You're doing yoga. If you want to sit on the couch, dial up one of your friends and say, hey, check this guy out. You won't believe this guy with this gray Fu Manchu on here with a shirt that's got a word that looks inappropriate on it in his front room doing yoga. Pop open a cold one and let's laugh about this. Guess what? You're doing yoga too, because you're present right there, right here, right now. So, with that being said, let's get started. Remember, everything I say or do is just a suggestion. You don't have to do anything. This is about choice. So we begin our practices always with practicing and rehearsing and practicing, trying to cement a new habit of self-regulation. How do we do that? The first thing we do is we ground. And how do we ground? We become aware of the pressure where we're contacting the ground. Maybe if you're sitting in a chair, it's your feet planted firmly on the ground. Maybe if you're like me, you feel a pressure on the sides of your feet, maybe on your sit bones, or you put your hand down on the mat and look at it, see that hand being grounded and supported, feel that hand being grounded and supported, and finally, truly know and recognize that the ground is there offering you stability and support all of the time. You begin to feel a little sideways, just get in touch and feel that stability. The second piece of self-regulation is centering, which is broadly the practice of trying to bring all of your focus from out here into here. And how do we do that? We first lift the pelvic floor as if trying to restrict the flow of urine, And then we pull the belly button in towards the spine, feeling our internal furnace begin to heat up. And maybe, just maybe, you notice not only your physical focus, but your mental focus dropping down into the center of your being. You feel that heat building, you feel those fires stoking, and you notice your focus is right here on that belly button. Next, we're going to begin to notice the breath. At first, just noticing, am I breathing in or am I breathing out? Feeling the air flow across the tip of your nose, maybe feeling it cool the back of your throat, and then feeling it flow back out. And we're going to move that breathing into a 3-part yogic breath. First, we're going to release the belly button, and we're going to take in work on filling ourselves up with air from the bottom, moving up. So we start by inhaling and expanding the belly, continuing to inhale, filling the lungs, the shoulders lift, and the last little sip of breath flows in and makes the eyes cool and sparkle. And then as we exhale in the reverse sequence, the chin comes down, shoulders soften, finally belly comes in. Inhale, big belly, shoulders lift, ribs separate, eyes cool and sparkle. And then exhale, the chin comes down, shoulders soften, belly comes in. Inhale, big belly, shoulders lift, eyes cool and sparkle. And this time we're going to take and allow ourselves to the chin comes down, the shoulders soften. We push the belly button in, pushing out the last little bit of that breath. And then we allow ourselves to fall back into just a natural breathing cycle, feeling the air flowing in and flowing out. And as we breathe in, the next time we bring the right ear to the right shoulder, focusing on bringing the ear to the shoulder, not the shoulder to the ear, feeling that stretch across the opposite side of the neck. And then on the next exhale, we allow the chin to come back down towards the chest. And as we inhale, we bring the left ear to the left shoulder. Again, focusing on bringing that ear to the shoulder, not the shoulder to the ear. Feeling those little tendons stretching out, tugging a little bit behind your ear before exhaling and allowing the chin to come down. And now we're going to move into some neck rolls. We're going to link this movement to the breath by inhaling to the right and back, exhaling to the left and down. Inhaling as we expand, exhaling as we contract. Inhaling to the right and back, and then exhaling to the left and down. Letting the chin hang heavily, maybe feeling that little bit of tug up the tendons, tugging on the back of your scalp. Before on the next inhale, reversing that rotation. Inhaling to the left and back, exhaling to the right and down. Inhaling to the left and extend, exhaling to the right and contract. Inhale to the right, the left, and then finally exhaling to the right. Continuing to breathe in and breathe out. Bring the gaze up, looking out straight ahead. Bringing the right hand up to the side, shifting the gaze and the palm towards each other, blinking the eyes, opening them wide, wiggling the fingers, allowing the light to flow in and stimulate the happy center in your brain. Shifting your gaze to the left, Bring the left hand down onto the mat, spreading the fingers. Again, feeling, seeing, and noticing the support that the ground is there to give you. Walk that hand slowly away. Shift the gaze back to the front. Inhale, reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, come over the top, feeling the stretch in the right and the compression in the left. Inhale, ease up a little bit. Exhale, deepen that crunch just a little bit more. For inhaling, coming back up. Exhale, bring the hands back down to the knees. Now we're going to take and bring the left hand up on the other side, keeping that shoulder plugged in, shifting the gaze and the palm towards each other, wiggling the fingers, blinking the eyes, allowing the light to flow in, and maybe pull the corners of that mouth up into a little bit of a smile. Shifting the gaze down to the right, bring the right hand down to the mat. Again, seeing, feeling, and acknowledging that support that the ground is giving you. Walking that hand slowly away, shifting the gaze back to the front. Inhale, reach that left hand up towards the ceiling. Exhale, come over the top. Again, feeling the stretch this time in the left, the compression in the right. Inhale, come up a little bit. Exhale, deepen that just a wee bit more. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, bring the hands back down to the knees. Now we're going to take and inhale, bring the hands up overhead, interlacing the three farthest fingers, keeping the index fingers pointed up towards the ceiling like the hand on a clock, touching the pads of the thumb together. Inhale as you gaze straight ahead, reach up. Exhale, tick over 1, 2 numbers on your personal clock. Inhale, extend a little bit more. Exhale, come down a little bit more. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, come down the other way. 1, 2 numbers on that clock of yours. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come down just a teeny tiny bit more. Inhale, come up. And exhale. Shift the gaze up into that cup formed by your hands. And then the next inhale, reach up, up, up as high as you can, feeling maybe those biceps brushing your ears, tightening everything up in your shoulders and your arms, yearning, reaching before exhaling and allowing the hands to part and the heart to open up to the far side of the room, feeling the weight of the day begin to lift from your shoulders. We're going to bring the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the right hip. Inhaling as we sit up straight, using just our torso, we're going to twist about at the base of the rib cage, looking off to the right. Inhale, sitting back up straight, shifting the gaze back over that right shoulder. And this time, using that left hand, pull yourself around just a little bit more, deepening and intensifying that stretch. Inhale, allow yourself to come back around to the front. And then we bring the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the left hip. Inhale, sit up straight. And again, not using your arms, just using your torso. Twist to the left. Shift the gaze back over that left shoulder. Inhale, sit up straight. Exhale, pull yourself around a little bit more. Feeling yourself stretching out, releasing those rubber bands that run up and down your back. And then release yourself back to center. Now we're going to move into tabletop. And remember, feel free to modify, do whatever works for you. This is your yoga, your way. You got to pull your drawers up like I just did, then go ahead and do it. This isn't a fashion show. This isn't anything like that. We're coming into tabletop, keeping our hands underneath our shoulders, fingers spread wide. Again, seeing and feeling that grounding, that support through our hands, knees underneath our hips, top of our feet flat on the mat. Inhale, feel our head pull out to the far side of the room. Exhale, look back over that right shoulder at the right pinky toe. Inhale back to center. Exhale, look over the left shoulder at the left pinky toe. Inhale back to center. Exhale, look over that right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, squeeze it out on the left side. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale to the right one last time. Inhale back to center. And squeeze it out for the final time to the left. And then inhaling, meeting me back in center. We're going to move into lion or bird dog. We're going to extend the left leg back, taking this opportunity to tuck the toes and maybe bounce just a little bit to begin to stretch out that Achilles and stretch out that hamstring. Shifting the weight into the left hand, reaching the right hand out to the far side of the mat, engaging the core, pulling that belly button in, and lifting that back leg up. Paying attention and feeling and noticing those little trembles, those little shakes. Exhale, come back down to tabletop. Now we're going to extend the right leg back, tucking the toes, stretching out those tendons a little bit, shifting the weight into the right hand, extending the left hand out, engaging the core, lifting that back leg up. And again, with curiosity, noticing those trembles, noticing those shakes. Exhale, come back down. Next, we're going to move into our first down dog of the night. We do that by tucking our toes, bring our sit bones back towards our heels, and then hinging our sit bones up towards the ceiling. Bring our head down between our arms and below the level of our heart. Not worrying about whether our knees are bent, not worrying about whether our heels are ever going to touch the mat. That's not part of this practice. This practice is about you, your mind, and your body working in concert. Inhale, look forward. Slowly walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Then we're going to take and bring the hands to the creases in the hips. Straighten the legs, keeping the head forward and the shoulders rolled forward. We're going to slowly stack one vertebrae at a time, one on top of the other as we inhale. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And as we get to the top, roll the shoulders back, bring the head up to neutral, and feel another piece of that pile of crap we've poured onto our shoulders all day long just slide off and leaving us lighter and freer. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back into a high plank. Knowing it's okay to always bring your knees down. Don't hurt yourself. Don't stress yourself. Listen to your body. We keeping the elbows in. We lower down. Low push-up. Turn the feet over. Pushing up into upward dog. Tucking the toes. Pushing back into downward dog. Now we begin to practice creating another positive new habit, one of positivity, shifting that lens, that focus of discussion we have with ourselves to the positive. We do this by using those two powerful words. I am clear. I am focused. I am worthy. Inhale, look forward, hop, walker, jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the hands up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. And if you notice, I was mindful about doing what I talked about last night, moving my mat out away from the TV so I'm not smacking the TV every time I come up. Inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank, lower down, low push up, turn the feet over, pushing up into upward dog, tucking the toes, pushing back into downward dog. And again, taking advantage of this situation, this position, to work on that new habit. I am strong. I am powerful. I am amazing. Inhale, swing that right leg up. Exhale, swing that leg forward, and then turn that back heel around. Rising up with the back foot parallel across the back of the mat. Front knee bent where it's over the top of the front ankle. Shoulders squared up, arms out, gaze out over that front hand. Into warrior two. Feeling yourself settling down into this pose. Feeling your shoulder blades coming towards each other. Turn that front hand over, and then reach it up to the sky as you run that back hand down the back side of the back leg for a reverse warrior, feeling that stretch on the inside of that back leg before inhaling, coming back up into warrior two, straightening the front knee, tipping the pelvis back, and then bringing that back hand up towards the ceiling, keeping your heart open to the far side of the room and allowing yourself to fall down over that front leg, running that hand down the inside of the front leg, feeling that stretch on the inside of the front thigh. Inhale, come back up into warrior two. Windmill the hands down to the mat, step back, and push right back up into downward dog. Again, continuing that practice. I am moving. I am graceful. And you know what? It's great to be able to laugh at, with, whatever yourself. Find joy in these conversations. I am doing yoga. Inhale, bring that left leg up. Exhale, swing it forward between the hands. Talk about graceful. Isn't that graceful? I got to almost physically pick my foot up and put it up there. Grace is in the eye of the beholder. We're going to rise up into warrior two on the other side. Back foot across the back of the mat, knee over the front ankle, arms extended, gaze out over that front hand into warrior two. Taking a second to notice, am I leaning forward, yearning for the future? Am I leaning back, stuck in the past? Or am I centered and present right here, right now? Bring the front hand over, reach it up towards the ceiling, run that back hand down the back side of that leg, reversing your warrior, feeling that tug on the inside of that back leg. Before inhaling, coming back up into warrior two, straightening that front leg, tipping the pelvis back, and allowing yourself to fall over that front leg, running that hand down the inside of the front leg, reaching the other hand up towards the ceiling. Most importantly, opening your heart to the far side of the room, allowing yourself to be open and allowing yourself to be right here, right now. Inhale, back up to warrior two. Exhale, windmill the hands down, step back, pushing right back up into downward dog. I am in downward dog. I am a damn good person. I am stronger than I ever thought I would have to be. Inhale, look forward, hop walker jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the hands up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. Feeling your heart beating through your thumbs where they're pushed into your sternum. Maybe noticing a little bit of sweat, a little bit of moisture in your hairline. Just noticing and feeling that sense of your body, your mind working together. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Yeah, there's a little hitch in my lower back. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back, high plank. Lower down, low push up. Turn the feet over, pushing up into upward dog. Tucking the toes, pushing back into downward dog. Thinking now about that conversation that you have in the mirror every morning when you're getting ready to brush your teeth. Think about that. Think about changing that to the positive. Think about telling that person in the mirror, you are going to be one handsome dude as soon as I brush that hair. I am going to have the freshest breath in town just as soon as I brush my teeth. I am going to do amazing things today. Inhale, bring that right leg up. Allow the knee to bend and allow the foot to fall over to the left side, looking out underneath that left armpit. Inhale, swing that foot forward. Again, with grace and fluidity, just like me. Ha ha. Rising up into a low lunge. Bring the shoulders back, knowing it's always okay to do it kneeling, or to bring the sit bones back, taking the pressure off the knees into a hero's pose. Bring the shoulders back. We're going to bring the hands up overhead, shifting the gaze up between those hands. We see a beautiful balloon in your favorite color. And on that balloon, you're writing down all of those things, all of the negativity that you tell yourself that holds you back. All of that garbage that no longer serves you. You're scribbling it all down till that balloon is just covered with black Sharpie writing. You're writing it all down, and then you're lifting it up, 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 and letting it go. Watching it go higher and higher. Feeling it gently tugging out of you. All of those things that no longer serve you. Leaving you lighter, freer, and more at ease than you've been all day long. Inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to the mat, tuck the toes, step back into downward dog. I am practicing. I am putting me first. I am okay. Inhale, bring that left leg up. Allow that foot to fall over to the right. Look out underneath that right armpit, seeing if you can get a glimpse of those toes before swinging that foot so gracefully and fluidly forward again. Into a low lunge on the other side. Again, remembering it's okay to move into a kneeling position. It's okay to bring your sit bones back towards your heels, taking the pressure off of those knees, moving into a hero's pose. Next, we're going to inhale, swing the hands up overhead. And this time when we shift the gaze up, we see a beautiful sky lantern, one of those magical paper bags with that flickering candle in the gondola beneath it. And into that gondola, we're going to place all of the words, all of the emotions, all of the feelings that we've held on to because we just can't figure out how to say them, how to transmit them, how to give them to someone either far away or on the other side. We're putting all of that in there. So we lift that little sky lantern up and we release it. And we see it drifting up, 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 till the winds catch it and blow it with surety, right exactly to where those words, feelings, and emotions need to go. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Exhale, plant the hands, tuck the toes, step back, pushing back into downward dog. I am glad I'm doing yoga. I am a powerful person. I am a worthy person. Inhale, look forward, and step into a seated position. Joining me on your mat, easy seated, crisscross, legs out, whatever works for you. We're going to take and bring the bottom of the feet together. Maybe your knees are up here. Maybe your knees are down here. Hello, Quentin. Hello, Christy. And hello, Patty. I'm so glad you all could join me today. It's too bad I can't see the little bubbles on Facebook because that's being filmed on my iPhone, so I can't quite see those. But anyway, I'm glad you're all joining me here today. And I want you to take a moment to pay attention to your feet, to your ankles, to your shins, just thinking about and noticing all of the ways that they give you support and motivation and locomotion, how they move you through your day. And really realize that we don't pay enough attention to different parts of our bodies that are there all day long to serve us. Next, we're going to take in keeping our hands on our feet or on our knees or out in front, whatever works for you. I want you to feel as if you're being pulled up towards the ceiling by your shoulders. And you're rising up, up, up until your body has no choice but to hinge at the hips and fall forward with a straight back over your feet. Feeling it begin to stretch out and release that tension you've stored all day in your lower back. And also feeling it open up those hip joints, allowing all of that deep-seated anxiety to be released and float away. Inhale, feel your head pull to the far side of the room. Exhale, sink down just a wee bit more. Inhale, allow yourself to rise back up. Now we're going to take in, keep our feet on the mat, bring our knees up, hands behind the thighs or hands back here. Again, your yoga, your way, whatever works for you. Squaring your shoulders up, keeping your chin neutral, pulling your belly button in. We're going to go into the first of 3 boat poses. If it's in your practice, bring both feet up. If it's not, you can bring one foot down, the other foot down, whatever works for you. Lean back on your hands, just feeling yourself rowing your boat gently down the stream, noticing that tremble, noticing that shake. Left ankle, right ankle over left. Allow yourself to fold over your legs. Inhale, lift the seat. Exhale, come right back up into our second boat pose. Continuing to work your way down that river, keeping the mind focused on keeping those legs up, feeling again that tremble, that shake, and knowing that that is a symbol of your mind and your body working together to chase fear out. Left ankle over right, deflate, deflate. Inhale, come right back up into our third and final boat pose, making it the best. Maybe this time you're just floating in an inner tube and you're just feeling those trembles and shakes and knowing that it's fear leaving the body. Right ankle over left, deflate, deflate. Inhale, sit up before rolling over your legs, planting the hands, extending the legs back into a high plank. Always knowing it's okay to take and bring your knees to the mat, tipping your heels to the right, extending the left hand up towards the ceiling into a side plank before lowering back down into a plank, letting the heels fall to the other side, coming into a side plank on the other side. Inhaling, dropping back down, bringing your forearms onto the mat. Again, feeling that tremble. Maybe this time it's in your shoulders as you chase that fear out of every place it's hiding in your body. You bring your knees down, your thighs down. Separate your arms, bringing one ear to the mat. Allow your feet to flop over, the top of your feet coming in contact with the mat. And take this opportunity to feel that support of the ground through the side of your head, and more importantly, through your chest and your torso. As every inhale lifts your body up against that support, and every exhale allows your body to sink down onto that support. And as your breathing begins to slow down, maybe you notice, maybe it's for the first time today, you notice your heart beating. As you feel that pulsing, that throbbing, you come to the realization that that heart is beating, pulsing, and pushing love out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for one person only. That's you. You feel that love pulsing to the top of your head and shooting down to the tips of your toes. Bring your head up and bring the other ear to the mat. Maybe now that you're aware of that heart of yours pushing love throughout your whole body, maybe, just maybe, you can feel and sense that love begin to pulsate out, radiating out from you, embracing your household, expanding in ever bigger concentric circles to embrace your neighborhood, and ultimately wrapping your community in love and understanding. Inhale, bring the hands down on either side of the chest. Exhale, push yourself up into tabletop, just long enough to bring your big toes together, knees to either side of the mat. We're going to come into child's pose. So if it's within your practice, you're welcome to ease forward, bringing your forehead to the mat. I invite you to try what I do, creating your own little pillar by stacking one fist and the other fist on top, creating a conduit, a pathway that you're going to connect, that's connected to the ground on the bottom, and you're going to bring that wonderful place between your eyebrows, the so-called third eye, the think center, into contact with the top side of that column, that conduit that you created. And as you're feeling and noticing the pressure being put on your pineal gland in the center of your forehead, triggering your body that it's safe to begin slowing down. Maybe, just maybe, you notice all of those thoughts, the fragments, the pieces of that stuff we let go, the remnants of it. They're still floating around in your think center. You see them begin to swirl around and around and around before being sucked down that personal conduit, that column, sucked down like they're going down a bathtub drain and being discharged and absorbed into the earth, leaving you even freer and more at ease than you were before. You're going to take in, bring your hands flat onto the mat out in front of you, keeping the head tucked and the eyes closed. Slowly walk your hands back towards your body, slowly rising up before rolling the shoulders back. Bring the head up to neutral and blinking the eyes open and feeling the last bit of the stuff we've piled on our shoulders lift off and float away, leaving us lighter, freer, and at ease. Reaching over to the side of the mat, swinging the front legs out forward, keeping the feet on the mat, knees up. Allow yourself to roll back down onto the mat, letting your arms extend out into T formation, or maybe bending the elbows up into cactus, whatever works for you. Walk your feet out to the outer edges of the mat, and slowly, following the breath, as we exhale, allow the knees to fall over to the right. Then we're going to inhale, slowly bringing them up. Exhale, allow them to slowly fall to the left. Inhale, slowly, slowly back up. Exhale, slowly, slowly, slowly back down to the right. Inhale, slowly back up. Exhale, slowly, slowly, slowly down to the left. And then inhale, slowly, slowly, slowly up. We're going to move into legs up the wall or waterfall. You know, if you look in the books, your legs are supposed to be vertical. Some of you can probably do that. Me? No way. My hips are too tight. My pelvis is too tilted back. Whatever excuse I can come up with, it's just a fact of life. And that's a big part of this. This truly is your yoga, your way. Don't worry about it. This is the way. Bring your fists underneath your hips if you want, or keep them out to the side. Bring your knees into your chest, and then extend your feet up towards the ceiling. I apologize about the giggles and chuckles. I'm thinking about my beloved Kelsey and about how this is May the 4th. And my granddaughter's talking about the Mandalorian, and this is the way. Feeling that coolness flood down your legs into your torso, letting that blood be reinvigorated, rejuvenated, and revitalized. Slowly bring the knees in, and then let the legs extend out as we move in to our final pose of the night, Shavasana or guided meditation. And again, if you're more comfortable curled up on your side, that's great. That's your yoga, your way. If you want to lay on your belly, that's awesome. Traditionally, you let your feet be slightly apart, Feet splayed open to reduce any pressure on your hips. Arms gently out to the side. Hands can be up, hands can be down, whatever works for you. And just allow yourself to begin the process of sinking and feeling and becoming one with the ground that's supporting you. Feeling your shoulders release, letting your jaw go slack and your teeth slightly separate. Your lips stay slightly together as your tongue rests heavily against the back of your teeth. You feel your eyebrows sliding further apart, feeling your forehead smooth out as your eyes sink deeper, deeper, and deeper into their sockets. You feel everything just letting go. You're not holding on to anything. You're not standing on anything. You're just allowing yourself to surrender to the support of the ground, of the earth. Just letting go. And as this sense of serenity and surrender washes over you in waves, you begin to notice a beautiful ball of light floating down towards your forehead. You feel it tickling and tingling as it moves towards and into your forehead, illuminating and revealing all of those dark corners within your mind, chasing out all of the shadows, consuming all of the cobwebs. As that light flows down through your sinuses and into your throat, loosening up all of that tension around your neck. That light flows down into your shoulders, shooting down into your hands, making them tingle and vibrate with life. As that light consolidates and moves down through your chest, you feel it wrapping your lungs and your heart in a warm, luscious hug, making you feel safe and protected. As that light and warmth continues to flow down through your belly, consuming all of those dark butterflies, burning through all of those bands that hold you tight, letting you finally release and be you. That light flows down through your pelvis, down through your thighs. You feel the front of your thighs tingling as it flows through them, into your calves, and all of a sudden the bottoms of your feet begin to tingle as it pushes out through the bottom of your feet, taking with it all of those shadows, all of those cobwebs, all of that bits and pieces of stuff we no longer need. It's taking it with it and leaving you lighter, freer, and at ease. As you're lying here in this state of ease, I invite you to join with me by hearing these words I say, repeating them silently to yourself, and truly meaning them. May I be happy, healthy, and secure. May my loved ones be happy, healthy, and secure. May my friends be happy, healthy, and secure. May my community be happy, healthy, and secure. May the whole wide world be happy, healthy, and secure. As we begin to feel movement back in our body, maybe we begin wiggling our toes, rotating our wrists and our ankles, bringing our fists into our chest before reaching our hands up towards the ceiling, opening your fingers wide, wiggling your fingers, and pulling your knees into your chest, wrapping yourself in a well-deserved hug, rocking gently from side to side to massage your lower back, and finally rolling over into a fetal position on your favorite side, pillowing your head on your lower bicep, bringing your upper hand down to the earth, feeling again and recognizing that grounding support. Keeping your eyes closed to hold on to this sense of lightness and ease you yourself have gifted yourself today. Use your upper hand to push yourself up into a seated position. I invite you to join me by bringing your hands to heart center, forefingers together, thumb pushed into your sternum, and then allowing your head to bow down to the ultimate ruler, the heart. I ask you to hear these words and know them to be as true about you as they are about me. I am whole. I am worthy of giving and receiving love. I am complete. This beautiful light within me sees, recognizes, and acknowledges that same light within each and every one of you. Thank you so much for sharing practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you all. I really appreciate this. And I hope to see you next Sunday or Monday. Sunday at 5 o'clock or next Monday at 6 o'clock. Thank you all so much and have a wonderful, lovely evening.